Listening to this podcast may cause extreme happiness.
Hello and welcome once again. This is Jason Thomas, your friendly neighborhood instructional systems technologist, and you are now listening to the SPCC Distance Learning Cool Tool of the Week podcast. This is episode 8, where we're going to start delving into some tips and tricks and techniques you can use with your Moodle classes. Because Moodle has a ton of built-in tools for you to use. But there's two problems. One, where can you find all these tools? And then once you've found them, second problem is, why should I bother using any of them? Well, here's a couple of the tools you have access to in Moodle currently. You can get file uploads or streaming. You can create groups in your classes and have those groups all do different assignments. You can use discussion boards and forums. You have assessment tools and tons of other things. So some of the benefits of optimizing your Moodle course are that you can get some more interactions between the students and yourself, or between the students and the content you're trying to teach. If you make your course more engaging, students will want to do this. Also, if you use some of these tips, you can enhance the look and feel of your course, make it look a lot better than just the default text, and you can get better assessment results and the opportunity for you and your students to reflect upon those results to improve teaching and learning. So let's get started. Today, like I said, will be part 1. Next week will be part 2, where we'll get into some more advanced tips and tricks with the discussion boards and things like that. So what you'll want to do is open a web browser, go to Moodle, log in, and pick your course to get started. First, we're going to do some basic things to change the way Moodle just looks. So, here's the problem. Lots of times you run into your module and you get the wall of death text, where it's just each module and the student's like, oh my gosh, so many links. Well, what you want to do is you want to take that wall of text and organize it. And if you look between these two things, you can tell which one of these is more user-friendly. In the first one, it's just link, 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 link. The second one, everything's organized, you have titles for each thing, you use indenting and spacing, so the students know exactly what's expected of them, what resources you're giving, and what they need to complete by the end of the module. So, what I did was I go into edit mode, and I'm going to show you some of the changes I made to that wall of text to make it more accessible. At the top, you'll see I did some text formatting to that label to make it so that they know that top is the title and underneath it is a very brief description of what they should learn. Then, underneath that, you'll see indenting. What I did was I made subtopics and then indented everything under that subtopic to make it easier for the students to know what files go under each topic. The next trick, which I'm specifically proud of, even though I probably didn't make it up and people have done it forever, is what I did is I made a label in between each section and just put a period or a space. And what it does is it leaves what looks like a blank line to the students, so that it spaces out the different sections within my module. And then I broke up the module, as you'll see in the red squares, by the type of resource or assignment. I could have also put a summary at the top of what they'd be expected to do. So as you'll see, I gave them the top box is a book, the second box are all the resources I want them to access, the third box is examples, and then the fourth block are the assignments they're expected to complete. So that's a quick way you can go from wall of text to nicely organized course. Next up is how can we assess participation. This isn't so much a how-to as some tricks and some pointers and techniques you can use to make students buy into this process. First, you'll need to be upfront with your expectations. If you're going to have them be working in groups, put it in your syllabus and communicate this on the first day of class or somewhere in your warm-up activity. You can use participation as a method of peer review. Instead of having you sit there and grade and tell them to edit this, have students critique each other. Give them points for helping other students out, and encourage the students to edit their own papers and repost them. This could be a great way to use your discussion boards. Have a student post, have 2 to 3 students give them some sort of critique, such as one thing they liked and one thing they could change, and then give the students credit for reposting their original project or assignment with those edits made. To make sure students don't complain that they're doing all the work in a group, utilize some sort of meeting log to provide for individual accountability, where they can log when they met, how long they met, who was there, and who did things. And lastly, rubrics are there for a reason. Use them. Make sure the students know ahead of time exactly how they will be assessed. Here's an example of a collaboration rubric. You can pause the video right here if you'd like to look at it for longer, and like I said, this is just an example. If you'd like a copy of this, please email me and I'll send it to you right away. Our last tip or trick is, I know a lot of you from your previous podcast started making videos. You started making audio podcasts. Now your problem is, how do I actually get those into my course and let the students download them? Well, in order to do that, you'll need to follow these steps. Alright, as you can see, you'll just go to Resource, and you'll want to go down and you'll want to link to a file or a website. And when you get there, just give it a name. I'm going to call it My Podcast, because I already uploaded an MP3 and I want to give the students a link to it. So I put in my link, put in my description right there. Then I scroll down, and there's only one option you'll need to do. You'll need to just click on Upload File, Browser File, choose it. There's your file. And under Window, you'll have something called Force Download. What that means is if you check it, that means the student, when they click on it, will have to download the file. If you leave it unchecked like I did, you'll get this result, as you can see here. They click on it, and it streams it directly in their Moodle. They don't have to download. They can listen to it right in their browser, which is nice because they don't have to have any programs or anything else. If you want them to be able to download it, and then put it on MP3s, put it on their own computer flash drive, all you have to do is click that box, click Accept on your changes, and now I scroll down to that podcast, and when you click on it now, it gives me the dialog box to either open it or save it. And then the student can click Save and put it wherever they'd like. So that's pretty easy, and you have two options. You could even put it up once as the streaming link and once as just downloading. Alright, that was pretty easy. Now you've found out how to make your course look a little better, you can get some more participation into your course, and get those multimedia files, the videos and audio you've been working on, into your Moodle course. Next week, we're going to have some tips on how to use a discussion board, and how to use it a little better or differently than normally, and how to use groups in your courses to maybe shake things up a little bit and encourage the students to communicate with each other. That is it for this week. Thank you so much. My contact information, like always, is as follows. I am J. Thomas at spcc.edu. My phone number here is 704-290-5860. Those of you cool enough to be on campus, that's just 5860. My Skype, like always, is Epic Thomas, and my office is on the OCH campus, Mobile Unit 6B. It's lonely in the trailers sometimes. Please come visit me. That's all. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next week.